I go, and welcome back to the Holistic Wellness with Michelle channel. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so since the launch of our video a few weeks back, I've been putting a lot of thought into developing a couple videos on defining and clarifying what holistic wellness means from the lens of this channel. And in particular, because the spelling for this channel is probably a lot different than what you're typically used to. So even in fact, the research that I was working on for this video, when I plugged in holistic wellness on the online dictionary, it came back and told me that it was a misspelling of holistic. So here we go. This video is going to be a part one of defining what holistic wellness is. Holistic is defined from an Indigenous lens of teachings that extend beyond simply my physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual self to include family and friends, community, nation, and all creation, including the plant, the animal, the mineral. Further, it teaches that how I take care of myself has a direct impact on those around me, those around them, and so on in all creation. Attempting to define the difference here is not about arguing that one definition is more or less than the other, but rather to demonstrate that one is not merely a misspelling of the other, but embraces holism from a differing and broader perspective. My perspective of what holistic wellness means for me started when I was pretty young, around the ages of 8 or 9. Around that time, my parents started to provide information about my Indigenous heritage, as well as I started to read the information that was accessible to me at the time. Through my years growing up, I was really deeply blessed with additional elements of resources and information and knowledge provided by elders and knowledge keepers, educators, other family and friends, as well as my own strong desire to read and research up on Indigenous heritage, but also on Western teachings of holistic wellness. Through those years, I have really started to form and develop for myself what I see as universal truth. And that truth being that no matter how far we tend to come in life or how stuck in life we actually think we are, we humans have this incredible capacity to step back and try to learn, relearn, redefine, reshape what holism or holistic well-being is for us, and holism within ourselves. So just a quick side note. There are several pieces of knowledge that I return to again and again when I'm wanting to kind of refresh myself, redefine or reshape what holism is for me. And I want to take a second and share one of those pieces of knowledge with you. And that's this little book here. It is called Into the Daylight, A Holistic Approach to Healing by Calvin Morrisseau. Over the years, this book has become a real foundational must for me. And as I said a moment ago, I return to it again and again. I call it a little book, but it's not so much. It might be little because it's 104 pages, but it is a really profound piece of knowledge. Actually, it's a piece of wisdom. I'll call it a piece of wisdom that really might help you expand on your understanding of holism that's really beyond the scope of this little video here. So if you're interested in kind of further exploring what that holistic looks like, please give Calvin's book a look into, and I'll post the citation below for you to check it out. Okay. So for me, holism really starts with medicine wheel teachings. Before I go further into that, though, I want to do a quick premise and say that the teaching I'm about to share is just a really quick yet profound sacred teaching. It's a sacred piece of knowledge. I also want to encourage you to be really mindful that no matter where we travel in the Americas, from nation to nation or tribe to tribe, teachings from the medicine wheel can and will vary. So I've got a little prop here, so I'm going to grab my little prop before I go further into the video. And so here it is. This is a very basic medicine wheel. Obviously you can see that it's round. We've got 4 basic colors. I want to take a second and also share that this medicine wheel in particular was taught to me by Anishinaabe healers. So here we go. The principle or the teaching that comes out of this piece for the purpose of today's video is that my body is a house, or a shell, if you will, in which who I am lives. And who I am is a spirit being on a human journey. I was taught that my house has 4 rooms: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And in order for me to be a balanced whole being, I need to spend some time in each room each day, even if it's just to open a window and let the wind blow through. I was taught that these dividers, if you will, that kind of help us to separate and understand the teachings from the medicine wheel, but not dividers within the self for sure. I was taught that this is a permeable concept. And what I mean by that is that what I do to one room has a direct impact on my other rooms. So, like a domino effect, I guess, if you will. So, if I take care of all of my rooms every day, I'm more likely to be a healthy, balanced, holistic person. However, if I only take care of, say, 3 of my rooms, and I don't take care of my 4th, eventually over time, what's going to happen is the unhealthiness and the challenges that are developing in this room are going to have negative impacts on these rooms. So here's an example. I might be an avid reader. As you can see behind me, I do a lot of reading. I love to read, and that might take care of my mental health. I might attend cognitive behavioral therapy and do some emotional work and take care of my emotional room here. And I might do mindfulness and meditation. I might attend church. I might do prayer work. I might do some earthing and spend time with Mother Earth. And that makes these rooms really balanced. However, if I develop a dysregulated sleep pattern and I perpetuate that dysregulated pattern and I don't do anything to try to help improve my sleep, what's going to happen over time is most likely I'm setting my physical room up to eventually start leaking into and having really unhealthy impacts on my other rooms. So I'm kind of setting myself up. The other piece being mindful of, as I'm becoming an unhealthy person, that just doesn't sit with me. That unhealthiness eventually starts to extend beyond myself to others, my community, to my nation, etc., etc. But that piece of knowledge or information is for the next video. The next part 2 of this video is going to expand on what that element of holism means. For the purpose of this video, I just wanted to kind of give you the basic premises, the simple nuts and bolts of starting to help you get your head wrapped around what this channel means by holistic wellness from a more individualistic lens. Now, before we get into our exercise for today, I would also like to leave you with one other piece to ponder. And that being that I find a challenge with the concept of more singular or self-oriented definitions, if you will, of what holism is or holistic is, can sometimes lend us to think that we're looking at it from an individualistic or an individualism lens. And that kind of is the basic knowledge, is that as an individual, all I have to do is take care of myself. That I have no responsibility or no need to worry about or take care of the health and well-being of others. Now, yes, I understand that we are all individuals. And yes, I do understand that we have to take care of ourselves. But however, I guess I should say, however, one of the challenges or another challenge with individualism is that it tends to not take into consideration that we're not islands unto ourselves. And armed with that little piece of knowledge, we do have a responsibility to take care of not just ourselves, but the other people around us and the people around them, and so on and so on. So for our exercise in this video, let's take some time and reflect on the video itself. And in the comment section below, tell us what you think holistic wellness means to you. Or if you're more interested in taking a much deeper dive, I invite you to take up Morrisseau's book, which reinforces and greatly expands on the knowledge shared in this video. Of note, Morrisseau does this while walking through his personal journey of recovery as a second-generation residential school survivor. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. If you have ideas for future videos, please leave your ideas in the comment section below. Remember, one person, one idea, one mindfully explored and shared piece of knowledge does have the ability to impact and change another's perspective and quality of life for the better. From the sharing of knowledge, wisdom arises. Niao yo, and thank you for watching today. May you go in a good way.